I always think that it is great if you know how to use AI, but it is even better if you know how everything started and you see some connections to what happened in the past. So let us look into the history of AI. Many people agree on that the birth hour of AI is around 1950s. In 1956 there was a workshop in Dartmouth and many important researchers from different fields met. They came together and they discussed about the establishment of a new research field. And these researchers had big names like McCarthy, Minsky, Shannon, Rochester, Moore, Samuel, Solomonoff, Selfridge, Newell and Simon. So these researchers, they sat together. They didn't really come up with new AI theories, but they realized this has to become a field. And after that workshop, many universities started teaching AI as a separate subject and researching in AI. And then a lot of things happens in AI. There's a general timeline of AI, what happened over the years. And often we refer to two AI springs and AI winters. So there were times when everyone was very hopeful, AI will solve all the problems in the world. And then there were times where people were quite disappointed. And now we are still in a time where people are hopeful again, but who knows what will be in the future. So, but what happened in the past? First, these first AI machines came which could do some magic learning of symbols. So, for example, there was the ELIZA machine that has been developed in 1964 and it was like a very simple chatbot. So you typed in something, for example, I have stress with my parents, and the machine just got some keywords, oh, parents, it says. And then says, why is it important for you to have parents? And this could be used in a therapy scenario. And indeed, there were people who were chatting for 2 hours and revealing their most personal problems, thinking that the machine understands what you're talking about. Even the machine just applies very simple logic. Weizenbaum, by the way, who was a developer of that method, he stopped working on AI progress from that time because he thought it's very scary to have machines which do not really understand what you think, but give you the impression that they understand. And then during this winter time, there was a lot of criticism and this Chinese room experiment idea came up where you would say, imagine that you are now the AI algorithm and you don't know anything, you don't understand what's going on. Like you don't really know Chinese. I guess most of you do not know Chinese. So you get these strange symbols in and you look at them, you don't understand what it says, but you have a book and in this book you can see, so this symbol, if it comes in, I have to give this symbol out. And so you just follow these very simple instructions. Given a symbol or two symbols, what should I do? And give these symbols out. The people outside of the room, they don't know what's inside. They only observe, oh, we asked very, very difficult question and the machine answers them perfectly. Right? You didn't really understand what's going on, but this book had all this information giving the perfect answers. Are you now intelligent? Is this whole setup intelligent? Really, really difficult to assess. And that's a little bit what's happening in these machines. They don't really understand what's going on, but they simulate intelligence. Nonetheless, after this AI winter, there were hopes again. For example, the general problem solver system. It's a machine working in a block world and trying to move the big blue box on top of the big red cone and various other things. And it could do it, and it was really realized in robotics. There was a robot which could move blocks around. And then in 1991, a diagnosis system came, MySyn, which was helping doctors to analyze illnesses. For example, a lymph node pathologist who just put into observations from a patient and saying, yeah, we see these issues here, there's something going on. Some observations about body temperature and so on. And at some point the machine said, you should treat the patient with this. And the expert says, no, I cannot do that. But the machine was able to explain why it would suggest this treatment. And then the expert admitted its own error and said, no, you're right, machine. And that is a real breakthrough back in the 1990s, where one had this hope again, these knowledge-based expert systems will solve all the remaining problems in the world. However, one realized real-world problems are much, much more complex than just these limited scenarios of patient treatment, and you need much more computation power. And in many other practical environments, the results were very disappointing. So we had a second winter. But then something magical happened. Around 2000, 2010, there were really big breakthroughs in deep learning. And we will speak about those in the next session.